Xbox is becoming more and more dominant in the gaming marketplace, and the future is looking even brighter for these two consoles. Let's talk about what the future has in store for Xbox. Let's get into it. What is up guys, Major Ben here, back with yet another brand new YouTube video on my channel. Today we have a look into the bright future of the series consoles and what they have in store for us this generation. I do just want to say quickly, if you do enjoy these videos, please do consider leaving a like, and if not, then please do comment and let me know what I can do to improve on my videos for the future. And if you really enjoy this content, then please do consider subscribing and press that bell icon to keep up with the latest and greatest things to do with Xbox. But without further ado, let's get into the future of Xbox. But first, we do need to go back in time a little bit just to talk about where we've gone from the start. So on the 10th of November 2020, the next gen Xbox consoles released with a ton of hype and anticipation to see what the next generation of gaming would bring to the consumer. We have the Series X, the world's most powerful console, and its baby brother, the Series S, aimed at an entry point into the growing Xbox ecosystem. Both these systems launched to mass praise and customer satisfaction, but this wasn't without fault. There were some issues. The Xbox was actually slightly losing the power battle in some cases against the PlayStation 5. Take Assassin's Creed Valhalla for example. The Series X ran at a slightly lower frame rate and resolution than the PS5, despite the Xbox Series X having the power advantage. But as we discussed on this channel previously, this was down to the tools not being utilized at this time, and many Sony fans mocked this and said that it was an excuse. But finally, we are now starting to see some games take advantage of what the series consoles have to offer. A ton of patches have rolled out for the games where PlayStation was winning over the Xbox, and since then they have been evenly matched or even surpassed the PlayStation 5 versions. The Xbox has started to show the true power of the machine, but we still have not seen anything yet. The launch was sparse for new games on the systems. Due to the games being delayed because of the pandemic, Halo Infinite was pushed back, which was going to be the killer launch title of the system. But Xbox did counteract this with amazing features like FPS boost. They started rolling out tons of patches to existing games on the console to boost games from 30 FPS to 60 FPS and even to 120 FPS on these new systems. Take Mad Max for example, a game that ran at 30 FPS on last gen systems. This game now runs at a gorgeous 60 FPS on the Xbox Series S and a massive 120 FPS on the Xbox Series X. And this library is continuously growing. Compared to the direct competition, they have more than triple the 120 FPS games on the Series X than the PlayStation 5. And even the Series S has more titles running at 120 FPS than the PlayStation 5. Yes, that very cheap box that was mocked by many Sony fans is outperforming PlayStation 5 with the 120 FPS games. You can tell Xbox has put a massive amount of thought into the preservation of legacy titles. For example, Mad Max, as I did discuss previously, is playable on the PlayStation 5, but at the same time it runs at 30 FPS like the PlayStation 4 version. The system just uses the PS4 versions of the games, whereas Microsoft's solution actually taps into the game and boosts the frame rate without even touching the original code of the game itself. It's clear that Microsoft has a massive advantage in this area, and regarding the future titles, we are going to see a gap more and more over time with the Series X features being utilized, with velocity architecture allowing the highest quality game assets to be streamed in an instant by combining a super fast SSD, hardware decompression, and the new direct storage functionality. Game developers have tools to develop immersive experiences with a minimal load time for players. Full RDNA 2 features are also present in both the series consoles, and with that architecture, it allows the system to deliver a significant increase in performance and efficiency over previous architectures, as well as adding new hardware accelerated capabilities, including hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing, mesh shaders, sampler feedback, and variable rate shading. And all this combined with the fantastic features such as quick resume, allowing for up to 12 games depending on the titles that you're playing at the time to be available to switch between seamlessly. The advantage in hardware and software is a clear win for the series console. consoles. We then have Game Pass, and I cannot talk enough about Game Pass and will not be able to. With Game Pass, we have hundreds of quality titles for our very small monthly subscription available to us at any time. In fact, at the time of recording this video, I believe there are over $7,000 worth of games on Game Pass right now. This is $7,000 for our small monthly fee that we can play at any point in time. And this is only growing more and more with the acquisitions that Microsoft is making. This service allows us to play and experience games that we never would have known about if it wasn't for Game Pass. Not to mention getting all of Microsoft's exclusive titles day and date with the release of the games being launched, meaning that games such as Redfool, Starfield, Stalker 2, Scorn, Warhammer 40k Darktide are all coming to Game Pass this year alone. And now even third-party titles such as Outriders, MLB The Show, the previous PlayStation exclusive, are actually coming to the system day and date. And speaking of these games, let's have a look into just a few of the titles coming to the Xbox systems exclusively in 2022. Let's start with Stalker 2. This award-winning PC franchise loved by millions of players is making a true next-gen console debut with Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. Experience a unique blend of first-person shooter, immersive sim, and horror. The Chernobyl exclusion zone is a unique, dangerous, and ever-changing environment. It promises a lot. The artifacts of unbelievable value can be yours if you dare to claim them. The price you may pay, on the other hand, is no less than your own life. One of the biggest open worlds to date, filled with radiation, mutants, and anomalies, is yours to explore. All the choices across the way not only define your own epic story, but influence the future itself. Be mindful about what you see, do, and plan, as you will have to find your way through the zone or forever be lost to it. I don't know, but this just sounds incredible to me, guys. Let me know what you think, but this game does launch on December 8th, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Next, we have Starfield, which is a game I'm most excited for this year. Starfield is Bethesda's first original RPG in 25 years, and it's set in the grounded and realistic space of the 2300s. Almost 3 years after it was announced, we're getting a slow trickle of details about the game, but there is still a lot we don't know. There is one thing we do know, and that's how large this game is, even down to the dialogue. During the Tokyo Game Show, Todd Howard told the audience that Starfield will launch with a complete Japanese localization and that it has over 150,000 lines of dialogue. As Nibelian pointed out on Twitter, that's more than twice as many lines as Skyrim, which had 60,000 of them. It's more than Fallout's 111,000 lines of dialogue as well. This is going to be one chatty RPG for sure. But for now, we will have to wait until a little later this year until we can see some more. But not too late, as this game is set to release on November the 11th. Next is a smaller game that personally I am very excited for, and this is an exclusive game to Xbox that isn't even coming to PC. And this game is Shredders. While making another goofball video at the Frozen Wood Resort, brand ambassador Lisa makes an offer for a couple of sponsored videos. She gives you a glimpse of a whole new world of snowboarding, professional riders, snowmobiles, and epic features to shred. An invitation has attracted a whole bunch of pro riders to the area, and with Lisa's help, you have a chance to meet some of them, learn a move or two, and possibly even get a chance to join them in this kick-ass invitational. A love letter to snowboarding, Shredders takes inspiration from a whole bunch of awesome snowboarding films, the Amped games from the original Xbox, and the snowboarding heroes on Instagram. Shredders is a project fed by passion and built to shine on the Xbox Series X and S consoles. This game looks absolutely fantastic and is currently set to be on Game Pass like all the others on the 17th of March. Now let's talk about Warhammer 40k Darktide, the successor to the fantastic Vermintide. Warhammer 40k Darktide is an upcoming first-person action game set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe and being developed and published by Swedish video game studio Fat Shark. It is planned to be released exclusively for Microsoft Windows and Xbox Series X and S in 2022. We don't actually have a ton more information for this game as of yet, but after playing a lot of Vermintide, this really is one that you guys must check out. I feel like some people miss games like this due to the fact that it's tied to Warhammer, which is something that has been going around for a long time. I can say I've never played a Warhammer game or done any of the actual real-world painting of Warhammer characters, for example, before Vermintide, and I still love this game and had an absolute blast playing it. So make sure you check out Vermintide before Darktide releases later on this year. Bethesda's Arkane studio has started work on Redfool, an open-world co-op shooter coming summer 2022. The quaint quaint island town of Redfool, Massachusetts is under siege by a legion of vampires who have blocked out the sun and cut the island off from the outside world. Trapped with a handful of survivors against malevolent enemies threatened to bleed the town dry, choose your hero from a diverse roster, grouping up with others to create the perfect team of vampire slayers. Redfool blends single and multiplayer options seamlessly, allowing the player to venture into the darkness alone or to squad up with up to 3 friends for 4-player co-op. And I must say I'm glad to hear it, because if you don't have many friends like me, then it's good to know that you can just play on your own. This game is set for summer 2022 and is another I'm very excited for. Around Halloween, we have Scorn, the perfect time for a game as disgusting as this to release. Scorn is set in the nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. It is designed around the idea of being thrown into the world, isolated and lost inside this dreamlike world. You explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. Every location claims its own theme, puzzles, and characters that are integral in creating a cohesive world. If this game doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, then I genuinely don't know what will. I love the animations of the weapons and the characters in this game already, and I'm looking forward to diving in and seeing what this game brings to the table in October of this year. So this was a look into just a few of the games announced exclusively on the Xbox and PC systems this year, and there are still many more, and some without release dates, like Hellblade 2, Forza Motorsport, Avowed, State of Decay, Everwild, and Perfect Dark. It's very clear to say that for the first time, Xbox is leading the industry with the mass of games being worked on for the platform, and they aren't done there. With the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard, they have a ton more games that could be exclusive to the system in the near future, with Phil Spencer trying to capture the casual market by allowing the potential exclusivity of the Call of Duty franchise to be on the Xbox ecosystem, and many other games along with that. We could get to the point where we have an exclusive Xbox AAA title on a monthly basis on the Xbox consoles, which is just fantastic. So this was a look into the future of gaming on the Xbox consoles, and I must say it is looking very bright. We have a ton of games lined up for these two systems and a ton more that we didn't talk about. Along with the power of these consoles and the features that we have yet to see being fully utilized, it's clear that this is a massive win for Xbox and us as the consumers. This has been Major Ben. If you did enjoy this video, then please do consider liking this video, as it really would help me out. And if you do want to keep up with the latest Xbox news and videos like this one, then please do consider subscribing to the channel, press the bell icon to keep up with all my latest content. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a fantastic day.